Hey guys, wanted to post a brief video going through the answers to the test. Everybody did really well. I'm tickled, but I know some of you are interested in which questions you got wrong, and I thought the easiest way to do that would just be to post this video. I sent out an email a little bit ago giving you guys an assignment due Friday. It's just to list and define the three or four. Some say three, some say four, some say five. I'll be happy with three or four different forms of business organization, and a brief definition of each. So make sure you get that to me Friday. And also, sometime before Friday morning, I'll post the first lecture on business organizations. We'll spend most of our time talking about corporations. We're almost through the semester. We're almost done. So let's all finish strong. Okay, answers to the test questions. Number one, the answer to that question was no, the promise is not enforceable because of past consideration. The person in the car, Joe Smith, promises to pay the $10,000 after Bill Frank has already got him out of the car. So the answer was past consideration. Some of you didn't actually use the term past consideration, but your answer indicated that's what you meant. So I gave you full credit for that question. So again, the answer to number one is no, the promise is not enforceable because of past consideration. Questions number 2 and 3 were the consideration questions I went over ad nauseum. And for number 2, David's consideration is he won't drive a car for the next 5 years, and Uncle John's consideration is the $500. In number 3, Ralph's consideration is paying $3,000, and John's consideration is providing the truck. So most, if not all of y'all got those questions right. A couple people messed them up. Those were designed to be gimme questions, quite frankly. Number 4, the question about the state trooper investigating the murder of a college student and the reward of $5,000. And the question was, is Trooper Smith entitled to the reward under contract principles? Why or why not? The answer is no, the trooper is not entitled to the reward because he has a pre-existing duty to find the murderer. So the answer I was looking for was no, because of pre-existing duty. Again, if you didn't use the actual term pre-existing duty, but indicated that it was his job anyway to find the murderer, then I gave you credit for that question. Number 5, list the 4 essential elements of a valid contract. I couldn't have made it more clear that question was going to be on the test. Almost all of you got it right, with a few blips on the radar screen. And they are agreement, consideration, capacity, and legality, the 4 essential elements of a contract. Number 6, list the 3 requirements of a valid offer. Number 1, a serious intent to be bound by the offer. Number 2, sufficiently clear terms. And number 3, communication of the offer. All y'all did well on that one. Number 7, list 3 of the 5 types of contracts that must be in writing in order to be enforced under the statute of frauds. Any combination of a contract for the sale of any interest in real estate, a contract for the sale of goods worth more than $500, a contract in consideration of marriage, which means a prenuptial agreement, a contract which by its own terms cannot be fully performed within 1 year, and a contract or promise to pay the debt of another. All right, moving on to the multiple choice portion of the test. Number 1 for multiple choice. Julie offers a $500 reward for the return of her lost dog. She posts flyers all around town and puts an ad in the newspaper. Kate, knowing nothing of the reward, finds the dog and returns it to Julie. Is Kate entitled to the reward under contract law principles? And the answer is E, no, because the offer was not communicated. The question makes clear that Kate knew nothing of the reward. So you can't accept an offer you don't know about. Even though she returned the dog, she performed essentially under the contract. She didn't do it in consideration for the reward because she didn't know about the reward. So you cannot accept an offer, obviously, you don't know about. Had she seen the flyer offering the reward and returned the dog in consideration of receiving the reward, the answer would be yes, she would be entitled to the reward. But again, you cannot accept an offer that hasn't been communicated. All right, number 2, Maynard, while intoxicated, enters into a contract to purchase 20 kegs of beer from Gomart. For Maynard, the contract is B, voidable. Remember, a contract made while you're intoxicated is voidable at the option of the person who was intoxicated. Number 3, Willard says to Melissa, I'll sell you my car for $500. Melissa says, okay. That's pretty darn easy. Melissa has B, accepted the offer. Number 4, Randy's a 15-year-old minor who enters into a contract with Parsons Car Factory to purchase a Chevy Silverado. For Randy, the contract is C, voidable. Again, if you're under the age of 18 and you enter into a contract, somebody's stupid enough to enter into a contract with you, it's voidable at your option. Number 5, the doctrine which prohibits non-breaching parties to contracts from simply sitting on their hands and allowing their damages to pile up is called C, mitigation of damages. Remember, non-breaching parties have a duty to mitigate their damages. Again, the examples I gave you where the landlord has to find somebody else to try and fill the unexpired lease, and a person who's wrongfully fired when they have a valid employment contract needs to try and find another job. Those are both examples of mitigating damages. Number 6, Willard says to Melissa, I'll sell you my car for $500. Before Melissa says anything, Willard says, oh, never mind. Some of you guys got this one wrong. Willard has, and the answer is A, revoked the offer. Remember, under most circumstances, unless there's under most circumstances, an offer can be revoked prior to it being accepted or rejected. And number 6 is an example of a revocation of the offer. Number 7, SpongeBob, who has been adjudicated mentally incompetent by a court of law, enters into a contract with Patrick to purchase his house. The contract is void, okay? And the reason for that is normally if you're mentally incompetent, the contract is voidable. But if you have been adjudicated mentally incompetent by a court of law, the contract is void, meaning neither party to the contract can enforce it. Number 8, Frank says to Wilma, I'll sell you my car for $500. Wilma says, I'll give you $400. Everybody got this right. The answer is D, Wilma has made a counter offer. Number 9, Gene enters into a contract with Carl in which Gene agrees to kill Ralph for $45,000. Gene fully performs. The contract is A, void. Okay? A contract that calls for an illegal act is void. Neither party can enforce it. I think at least 2 of you all told me that that was a perfectly valid contract. Even though in the lectures I expressly told you that was going to be a question and did not say it was valid. But most of you all got it right. No big deal. Number 10, Maynard, while intoxicated, enters into a contract to purchase 20 kegs of beer from Gomart. The next day, Maynard awakes and is sober. He calls Gomart and says, I don't like the deal. Don't deliver my kegs. Maynard has A, disaffirm the contract. Remember, when a contract is voidable, you have to look for that disaffirmance, which means calling off the contract, or ratification, which means, hey, I'm sober now, but I still want to do the deal. Number 11, Stephen agrees to buy a car from Ralph for $1,000. Stephen later learns the car is worth $300. Can Ralph get out of the contract? The answer is no, because courts will not consider adequacy of consideration. C. My garage door is about to go up here, I think. Number 12, Sarah contracts with Shirley to purchase her a one-of-a-kind painting by Rembrandt. On the day the painting is to be delivered, Shirley breaches the contract. Hold on here, guys. Shirley breaches the contract and refuses to give up the guitar. I kind of got that messed up. Guitar painting. What will Sarah's best remedy be? And the answer is specific performance. Remember, with a one-of-a-kind subject matter of the contract, specific performance, making them fully perform what they were supposed to under the contract is the appropriate remedy. All right, questions about that test? Want to dispute your answers or anything like that? Think you should have gotten more credit or whatever? Shoot me a text or an email or give me a call. Remember, the new assignment will be due Friday by 5 p.m. and I'll have a lecture, the first lecture on business organization, posted sometime before Friday morning. Again, questions, concerns, comments about anything, let me know. Comment on the video to let me know you've watched it. Hope everybody's doing good, and I'll see you at the next lecture sometime before Friday. Bye.